Looks like Axie Infinity is gonna make this a regular thing. We got another Origin update, and let's see what we have in this one. One improvement and bug fix is that Sturdy Fighter no longer applies its effect to AoE attacks, which was a massive broken bug and it made a lot of people stop playing the game. But let's see what else they have changed. So we got the cards, the runes and the charms. Starting with the card, first thing that they have changed is put a cap on Topaz, and that totally makes sense. You can't be stacking Topaz forever because at the later stages of the game it just gets too ridiculous that it can one-shot your opponent. Axie. Then what we have is Square Teeth. It used to do, if initial, it would deal bonus damage equal to the current shield. Now it consumes your current shield and converts it into bonus damage. So you no longer get the best of both worlds, but indeed you have to sacrifice your shield to get that damage, and it's capped at 100 shield. Hotbot and Swirl have been, in my opinion, nerfed because they only shuffle 2 burns and 2 confused into your opponent's pile rather than 3. I think the 3 was a lot better. To create a deck that's disturbing your opponent. Now Hotbot is getting shield and Swirl is healing a little bit, and then those 3 have been reduced to 2. That's not I'm not sure how I feel about that. For 1 energy cost, it doesn't feel like this one is doing enough. 25 shield and 2 burns that deal 16 damage AoE total. It's kind of meh. Now Cerastus and Kingfisher changed. If initial, it reflects 85 damage for the next attack against the target. Now does it just do completely nothing if it's not initial? I'm not sure how to interpret this. The next attack against the target is reflected. Okay, so it only if it's initial. So if someone goes and plays a skill card first and then he plays an attack card, I don't think it triggers anymore. Okay, I'm not sure what does that exactly fix. Just makes it weaker, I guess, so that you can't always reflect. You have to attack. Second, if you don't have a skill card, you're not gonna reflect. I'm not sure. And not all of the Nutcracks and all of the Little Owls have had a cap put on them. So 90 bonus damage is the cap, which is 15 total cards. You can't indefinitely or infinitely keep stacking damage from these cards. And again, that same reason as with Topaz, if you build a team that can slow the game down and you can keep stacking that Little Owl or Nutcracker damage, you will just win every single late game scenario, so it makes sense to change that. The last one, this one is actually a big buff. Only if this is the only card in your hand, you will deal 20 more damage. That used to be the buff. Now if this is the only attack card in your hand, so if you draw a revenge card, or if you draw a useless card like a Daze or a Confused, but those cards do not deal damage, the last one will still be dealing that bonus 20 damage. So a big buff actually for the last one. Lotus, gain 50 shield and heal 30 HP. Now remove healing, but you remove 1 curse card from your deck. Is that good? I'm not sure whether that's good. Rosebud, heal for 70 HP. Actually, maybe you can pair that up with a Shady Exchange, but we'll jump into Shady Exchange in just a second. Rosebud, heal 70 HP. Heal 60 HP, you can target any ally, and you can apply 1 Clayser. A giant buff to Rosebud, actually. I think 70 HP was already big enough, but now a Cleanser and then the targeting. Wow. Actually, I'm a big fan of Rosebud. I think healing in this meta is actually quite good. Puppy, you heal your team. If initial, you remove 1 curse. They just remove the initial. You just heal your team now. Cloud, deal 70 damage. Now it deals 35 damage, but it deals 2 hits. And this attack targets the closest non-summoned enemy. Same with Winghorn as well. They deal 35 damage, but twice. So Bubble kind of counters them a little bit better. Hungry Bird, same thing, you deal 2 hits, and if it's initial, you heal for 15 HP. So they made them into multi-hit attacks. Teal Shirt, you can target any ally, gain 20 shield for each card played before this turn, and they nerfed it to 15 shield. I haven't actually seen Teal Shell being used that much, so I'm not sure where this nerf is coming from. Sturdy Fighter, non-multi-attack abilities deal bonus damage equal to current shield. Now, they make it into single attacks, consume 30% of current shield, and they convert it into bonus damage. As Sturdy Fighter was completely broken out of its mind. Shady Exchange, they nerfed it quite a lot. It used to add 3 dazed into your deck, now it adds 3 dazed and 2 voids. But then again, you can probably use Lotus and you can remove that card, so maybe if you put Initial on your Lotus, that can have some sort of a synergy, and if you are lucky enough to remove the void, if that's even possible, I'm not sure how that works, then Shady Fighter becomes much better, or Shady Exchange. And there's quite a lot of changes in the charms, but they are all pretty much the same. A discount coupon has been temporarily removed from the game. We'll see, maybe there was some game breaking bug and they needed to fix that, and all of the rest have now added a card's base stat minus 10%. So if you add an innate, if you add a retain, if you add the targeting cards, your base stats will decrease. So you get a buff of I mean, you make the card much stronger. I actually like running the retains on some of my abilities, like the Shoal Star, so that I can always have it in my hand in case I need to finish off my opponent. But now I mean, Shoal Star is actually not affected by the card's base stat, because you still trigger, whether you deal 40 damage or you deal 30, you will still trigger that ability. But for many other cards, this is a big change, so you have to sacrifice something. Maybe those charms were a little bit too good. We'll see how that plays out. So that's it for all of the changes. It's good to see that the Axie Infinity team is producing updates weekly or bi-weekly. I'm not sure when the last one was, but I think it's weekly, so they are doing a good job trying to balance out the game. I would like to see a little bit more change when it comes to the mechanics of the game, so try to make it a little bit more competitive, so it's not as easy to follow through in the game. So you just make your team and then it pretty much plays itself out. I'm not sure whether that should be being taken, but I would like to see a little bit more effort put into that. So maybe making the secret cards, I mean, they try to hide the secret cards, but you can still click on the Axie and see which secret cards they have used. So it's not that secret. But yeah, I think the game has still a long way to go to make it competitive, but those balance changes are a good step. As long as we can get the game in a good spot where there's plenty of mobile players playing, we can start making that into a more competitive one, or we can make a competitive mode if that's even feasible. So guys, let me know what do you think about these changes. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel for daily playthrough and content, and I will see you in the next one.